because otherwise we'll run out of time. I think Indumati is here. Awesome. Rohil is here. Awesome. Okay, I think majority team members are here. So let's get started. In case if you have received the email, which I sent, but if you have not received everything through Google Class, I kind of sent, but I did send Tableau prep flow. So if I click here, there is a link here, which I'm going to provide the link in the chat. Let's download and install the software because that may take a couple of minutes. Depends on how do I turn off the WhatsApp. Even it's not here, it's there. It keep coming. I don't know why. It's keep coming. When somebody's typing, it's keep coming. I don't know how this is keep coming, even though I have not added there. Let me add in a chat. And once I give you the link, please start downloading the software. And if that works out well, sorry, this is not the what I want. Here you go. It will ask you to register. So I'm going to show you the flow. You can copy paste the link if you want, and it will ask you to do download free trial after you use that link. It will ask you a pop-up dialog box like this, right? Oh, this was, this is not, yeah, this is because I might have account. Straightforward. This time it didn't ask me. That is pretty cool. Normally it asks you, username, password kind of thing, or your first name, last name, but it went straightforward, which is good. You guys can start downloading that. So seems like this is kind of short circuit. Yesterday when I was trying to download and install, it was asking me my first name, last name and all, but here seems like this link auto starts downloading. And once you follow the data entry, it will show the screen just like mine. See right now it coming here. For me, it says 12 because I already activated yesterday. But for you, there should be a link here, which is called activate 14 days. And then you fill up the form. And when you fill up the form, then it will start and you will see screen something like this. If you're able to complete, give me thumbs up. Very good, Steve. I'm impressed. Avni, good job. Good job. Very, very good job.
What do we do if we see a video? Just close that?
Yeah, just close video. You will come up to this level, right? Then stop for me. I'll walk you through further. Okay, give me more thumbs up. Those who are able to complete the 14 days activation. Naresh, thank you. Anyone else? Awesome, Rashid, thank you. Okay. Very good, very good. Okay, so first thing, if you are able to come here, first I want to say congratulations. You know how to install, which is kind of great. Now, Tableau itself has a lot of tutorials and all. So this side, you have tutorials, right? You can click here and you can go through the tutorials. Again, I don't need to, right now you don't have to go through that. There is a video available. So, cleaning and all. After I complete that, it will be a lot easier. So when you get chance later on, if you want to go further, you can. The tool is very simple. It's very powerful, but the best way to learn is use it, because you can watch a lot of videos or you can go through a lot of materials, but unless you use it, it's going to be always like, I know it, but I'm not very confident. Now, Tableau Prep Builder gives you 2 sample flow. So this 2 sample flow is good enough for us to get started. So those who are able to install, you may be able to see this 2 flow. Don't worry about the previous flow here, because those you may not have it, because you just started a Tableau Prep Builder. Say, you know what, let me walk you through some flow. So I have a couple of flow. So let's click on first one, world indicator. Let's click on that. So if you click on this, it will take you inside. So click on that. It will take you inside. It takes a lot of memory, but you will see eventually something like this. If you are able to do that, Give me thumbs up. Very good, Ivy. You're awesome. Wow. Those who are able to see this thing means your machine is set up. Congratulations.
I don't see details like you do of the rows. I just see the flow at the top.
Yeah,
So
that is not a
click
problem.
something.
Yeah, I will show you. I'll show you how to get details. You will see eventually. No worries, I'll help you. Okay. Now, as you see here, there are so many things are there and sometimes it's confusing. So I'm going to give you a little bit quick overview. Tableau Prep Builder does come with this small arrow. You can see on my screen, if I click on that, it will minimize this like that. So sometimes you may see something like this. And Thomas, you might be able to see something like this. And when you see that, right, it obviously, this is the flow. That's our point of discussion. So this is our flow. And in this flow, as soon as you click anywhere, any item, you will see the bottom part here. You can see reflection will happen at the bottom part. So if you click anywhere, the bottom part will reflect and there is a small up arrow. If you click on that up arrow, you will see nice, beautiful grids and all. So sometimes, it's kind of hidden because people don't know that. And if you want to hide this thing, you have a couple of choice. You click on this arrow like this, right? And you can minimize, or you can click on this white screen somewhere and it will disappear. I like this clicking white screen, it disappeared. But if I want to bring it back at the bottom side, or you can just click on any of this. As soon as you click any of this, it will come back. And if you click on white screen, it will disappear. I like that because it doesn't take space. Whenever I'm working, that time automatically bottom panel will show up. And when I'm not working, I just click outside on white screen and it will disappear. Are you guys able to do it? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Now, first of all, how this flow works. So flow works left to right. We're going to do it. First, we are trying to understand left to right. Now, there are always initial step is always source. You need a data source. It can be one source or it can be multiple source. So you can see here the source is here. This is also a source. And then later on, you have a couple of things. You can do join, right? Or you do union, join or union. Now you will ask question, what's the difference? I'll cover that. You also will see something like a grouping, aggregation. You also somewhere you will see is a pivot. So what are the things we can do? That's the interview question. So let's understand. So anytime you do Tableau Prep Builder, these are activities or steps you can do. First, this is your raw data. This is your raw format data, which you want to clean, massage, enrich, or transform. So you pass that raw data in any order. You don't have to have this sequential. The process or steps can be added in any order. There is no set standard that you have to do this step first, this step. But it's always a good idea to get the data, and first thing you do cleaning. So cleaning is the first thing. So in cleaning, what are the things you can do? So this is the symbol for cleaning. So cleaning is number one step, where either you remove column. Let's say if you don't like some column, you remove the column. Or if you have rows and you don't like all rows, so you remove some of the rows. So you can do filter rows, filter column. Or sometimes you have a column and you want to do addition with the B column, right? And then you want to get C column. So this is called transformations or calculated columns. So you're creating a column from existing column. Or if you have something like a spelling, right? If you have some spelling, and if you want to transform that spelling to uppercase, lowercase, you can do that. Or you have something which you want to divide into multiple columns, or if you have smaller columns and you want to combine and create a join column. So there are a bunch of things you can do as a part of cleaning. Tableau maintain each cleaning steps, and as you do cleaning, it add icon for your notification that there are certain things you are doing. Tableau does allow each steps name and little bit description also. And this is all recorded. So if you don't like some step, you can just cross, and you can undo also. So I'm going to show you that as well. Any questions so far? So far, so good. So let's click on clean service. You will understand. Click on that. So when you click on that, there are so many things you will see, and it is kind of confusing. Don't worry about it. Just see here on the first side here, you will see something called changes, and in parentheses it says 4. And there is a small arrow. Click on that. So it gives you idea what changes you did. It's just like a Power BI. It maintains the series of operations. So what we are saying here, this task, we are doing 4 steps. So first thing we are doing is the consumer price index. And that we are saying we are changing here. So change type. So basically we change the type, means this number is changed, means data type is changed. The second step, it's a filter. So we have applied filter. It means somewhere we have applied filter. Sorry, here itself, my mistake. You can see here the filter is applied, and it's a consumer price index. You apply filter. Third, change type year. It means it's year, and it appears the data type is changed. So it says that data type change, and then it's a grouping. So this is grouping is performed here. So maybe Afghanistan, there were maybe many times. So you can see there is a nice distributions. It means this many time Afghanistan was there. So rather than repeating that, we are grouping it. So wherever you see this bar, it shows the frequency, how many times that item was repeated. And we eliminated the repetition by creating grouping. The only reason you do group when you want to do some aggregations. So example, Illinois, New York, New York. So if you have so many times same items repeated, it makes more sense to do grouping. And then you can say Illinois based sales, New York based profit. You can do that. So that's why these steps. So in these steps, we created multiple steps. Can I add more steps? And so absolutely yes. As many steps you want to do, you can do. So even though it looks like one step, inside that we have created 4 steps before data goes to the next step. Any questions? Any questions? So far so good. Give me thumbs up if you are clear. We're going to do exercise. I just want to make sure I set the stage correctly. Right? Awesome. Awesome.
When it says group values, 6 values replaced, what does that mean exactly?
Where you see that?
Under the changes, the 4th change is group values, country, region. You scratched it out. It says 6 values replaced. So what does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so basically what happened, that is another step this flow must have done. It means they replace the value. So sometimes spelling is incorrect. Somebody means this is the existing flow. So they might have replaced, so spelling is incorrect. So definitely if spelling is incorrect, what are you going to do? You're going to replace that. So like example, let's say I don't like this spelling, right? Just an example. I don't like this spelling because it's supposed to be this spelling, right? This is supposed to be this one, right? So what I do is I double click here and I change that thing. So if I do that, it is value changed. It means wherever this spelling is used, I can use this spelling. So that type of things, someone has done it. So that's also being tracked. How many times did you change that? Any other questions? Okay. Now, the way this is listed here, you can see here, the first step is called flow plane. So you can see flow. The second is called data plane, where you see that. And the last one is a grid. So you can see the grid. It means these steps, data goes in, out. And if you come out, you see this thing. That's what this is here. Whatever you see here, that is listed here. But in this step, there are so many things are happening that is listed as a column. These are all column. Now, this is a distributions. So if somebody asks, how do you read this? Very simple. It says that total you have 17 different years, but 2016 versus if you see about maybe 2014, maximum data is in 2014. That kind of give you like a little bit summary. So if you want to know some summary, then this is the best way to do data distribution. So if you see here, this bar is high compared to maybe this bar. So you can say that the data Austria is repeated more often than Aruba in easy language, because the bar says that the frequency of item repeated is quite high, and that's why the bar means. Makes sense? So it's a good idea to have. So here, if you see this thing, 12, so it means 12 is repeated more often than 4, and 2 and 3 and 6 are not repeated also. Anyway, now if you see here, there is a one recommendations. So if you click on this is AIML recommendation, if you click on that, it says that country change data role to country region. So if I do that, so right now it is written as a ABC, means spelling. It says change to this, it means it will become a geospatial. So let's say if I do that, what happened? Let's see that. And as soon as I do that, there will be additional step will be added, just like a Power BI. For tracking purpose, any change you do will be tracked. So you can see here what happens. So let's say I recommend, I do that. So as soon as I say, it's a, you are going to do that. And this is what here, do you want to apply? Say apply. As I apply, you can see the new steps added. New step added. And the information's now recommendation is gone. And this is what happened. But if you feel like, oh my God, I made a mistake, move your mouse and you will have X, and you can click on that and you can cross out that. Let me know if you're able to do that. In that case, your data will be back to normal. So anytime you can add step, anytime you can remove steps. Good so far? Now, Tableau, if you ask me, came up with various machine learning algorithm, which is kind of cool. You may like it as you go further. So I'll show you with example that you will make sense. But see here, I don't know how to read some of the word, but let's say this one, Austria and Austria. So it's kind of pronunciation perspective. Austria and Australia, they are kind of similar. So if you click on the dotted line and you can say, you know what, there are some spelling, like example, somebody write Kevin like this way, just an example, right? And somebody like Kevin like this way. Again, we can debate why somebody write, but it typo or whatever. So that this is actually a same Kevin. So we can say combine that and create one Kevin. Tableau does automatically. So if you right click on, click on this three dot, and there is a concept called group value. If you move mouse, it gives you option here. This is quite important. You can do manual selection, means you can select this item, and this item as one group. Or you can say this item, this item, this item is one group. You can do that. Or you can use pronunciation. So like, check this out right now. I just want to show you something. You will like it. See right now 196. Total items 196. Now, if I do group, items should reduce because it's kind of combine it. So if I do group value, and if I say pronunciation, right? Or you can say common characters. Common character means you can see here, wherever these spellings are similar, that's called common characters. So you can say if these common characters are that they are same, like that, you can do that. Or spelling, but let's do pronunciation. You may like it. So you can see here, it says that I'm trying to do that grouping, right? So right now select single value to see the value it replaces. So you can see here this item, right? This item has grouping. These are grouping. So let's say example, I click on one item, just an example. So I click on one item. Now this item, see here, it's only one. So there is no item repeated. But if you select this, it means this item will be used against this number. So like example, somebody made a mistake, right? I can say these three, don't do that, take this one. So this item will take and replace here. So basically what happened, you are now grouping that. Tableau automatically give you this pin icon. It means it automatically does grouping. So if you are curious about what the pin does, if you click on move mouse on that, it will say 8 items are grouped. So if you click on that, right, so you can see here, this item, it groups here. These two pronunciation perspective, they are very similar. If you click here, pronunciation perspective, this item are similar. this is what our AI ML algorithms are. But if you feel like I can add more, you check, and check whatever item, this all item will be grouped as a one item. You may say, but what's the use of that? It's a lot more. So example, if I write California, right? Somebody write California, California, someone write and now you want to say, show me the cells for California. Now you're California, you're California, if you're something. But if you group it, now you're true California, and all the dollar amount, all the order belongs to that. Because somebody did typo, you can group them and keep as a one. And that is very powerful techniques. This technique is not available in Power BI query at this moment. So this is one of the AIML module, which I like the most. Any questions so far?
So it actually doesn't change the data to match, but it just groups them together. So in other words, Australia didn't change to Austria or vice versa, but they're just treated as one.
Yes and no. So just when you bring the data in a real life, means Tableau, they maintain as a source copy. Then it allows you to change the title. It allows you to change the value. It allows you to do replace or modification. That is in-memory replacement. In-memory replacements.
Right.
Means source is not changed. So source and that target has a mapping also. So you always have access to the source. I'll show you when you make a change, it will say this was the original and this is what you're using for reporting. And sometimes we do, like example, column EMP, column EMP, but you don't like EMP, you want an employee, right? So you can do that. So you're changing in memory. You're really not changing the source data. Good question.
Right. That's not really my question though. The question is, so it's grouping Australia and Austria. And I mean, in memory, is it changing one to the other?
Yes.
Or just so how do you know which one is changing to which?
This one, you're picking this one, and that will be used against other item. So right now, this one, it is putting here, these two are treated as this one. These two items will be treated like this. But if you feel like, oh my God, I don't like, you just click here and change it. So example, I click here and 1 second, let me show you here and edit value. And you can say Thomas, like you want to say, this is Thomas. It means these two value now group as this. So you can do that. Make sense? So that item is now known as a Thomas. So Thomas was not there, so it added also, but you can group that. So this is your, just like think about here, your table, your chair, and you have, let's say, a cabinet. And you can say all this supposed to be grouped as a furniture. So you can do that. This item now onwards known as a furniture, again in memory. So you're not going sub level, you're kind of merging it with a group furniture level. Good. This is very powerful technique, by the way. Trust me, I worked in industry. So what happened? Let me give you my real example where I was working. So I work for CPG industry. CPG stands for customer packaging good. So what happened? They have chocolate, bar chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. Now you say all these are chocolate. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna do grouping. So this is the techniques industry use. So rather than, because when you are summarizing something, you want to summarize it certain meaningful way, because somebody did typing. These are data, right? So somebody did typing wrong. Somebody said choco, somebody said chocolate, somebody said dark chocolate, but the intention is same. It's a chocolate, right? And business don't want to go to minor level. Oh, there is a spelling mistake. Oh, he made A-R-E. This is what transformation means, right? You have data incorrect, but you don't want to make report incorrect. So you are merging them. So your report will only see chocolate. Your report will not know that there is a choco and there is a bar chocolate and all, right? Makes sense? So your report will have much more business language than layman terminology, the people who have entered the data. Yeah. Good so far? Okay, let's move on. I saw some raise Raise hand. Any question here? Indumati, any question?
I'll say I have a question. My laptop turned off in the middle, so I don't know which data that you connected to. I'm just watching the video. I'm not connected on my prep builder. Did you guys connect to any data?
No, I did not. We did not connect to any data.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because
we are just using the flow. There are two flow where there we call on one of the flow, which is world indicators. So when you start Tableau Prep Builder, there were two flow. One flow was the superstore, and second was world indicator. So we click on it. That's all we did so far. Okay, we have not done exercise because I want to give you time to you can install and configure. But please understand, we're going to do this thing in a few minutes. Okay. Now let's understand this part. Please pay attention. Step A, this is this flow, and step B, this flow. Now you can see here there are different sources here. One is consumer price, one is a global. So if you click on the source, you will see something interesting. So if I click on source, so you can see here, this one tells you where the data is coming. So this is data is coming from this location. You can go to browse and you can change if you want to. You can also say there is a data has a heading or not. Like a data has a heading, like this kind of heading. If data has a heading means column heading is there, then you can say yeah. Otherwise it will generate heading. First column will be field 1, field 2, field 3, like that. You can do that also. So your choice to use the data. You can either use appropriate columns or you can create your column dynamically. And then if you don't like, you just double click on that column and you can change it. As soon as you change, just example, as soon as I change this, source and target is now changed. So whatever I'm changing memory, not original data. I'll show you in 2 seconds, but this is going to give you opportunity that how data is coming, which source data is coming, is data has a header or not. And data starts, if header is 1, it means data starts from second row. Otherwise, you might have confusion. Newer Tableau has this option called data sample. This is pretty cool. You may like that. This is a newer one. Those who installed today, this is newer feature. This was not there last year. So they introduced data sample, which is cool. So what happened? Let's say somebody give you 1 million data. If they give you 1 million data and you want to only process 500 rows. So there is no other way. You had an option that you select 500 rows. So they give you this concept called data sample. If you click on it, if you click on data sample, there are a couple of ways you can do that. So here it's a number of rows, right? So it's a automatic select the optimal number of rows. So it will automatically select that. So if you carefully see that, it will show, I'll show you the example. This guy will automatically select based on my available memory, right? My computer has what is the memory, and based on the data, it will pick. So it does not take too much memory, because if you have 1 million, your Tableau will crash. But this options will allow you to take only maybe 20,000 rows, maybe 30,000, but don't try to load 1 million rows. So that's this feature. They have also another beautiful feature called specify. You can say, I want only 100 row. Then Tableau will get only 100 rows. Now, how it will get it? Maybe first 100 rows. But then there is another benefited feature here, maximum but slower. Return as many row possible, but some limited. So you can also randomize the maximum, return as many row as possible. Here, it can also randomize. So example, here, you can see here, quick selector, random or stratify. This one will take long time. Random means, like example, from available million, it will pick like a sum of the 100 rows randomly, which is kind of cool, because you don't want to pick only 5 first rows, or you don't want to pick last 5 rows. You want to randomly select, so your data will have a true representations. And again, this features was newly introduced. For large data sets, if you cannot pull the data to your computer, you have this option to select subsets of data or similar rows, smaller rows, so you can do analysis. And then you have to do similar activity couple of times to make sure that your analysis is really appropriate for the given data set, because data set has 100,000 and you are analyzing only maybe 5,000 rows. So again, these are scientific way done. Majority companies don't have this type of algorithm. Tableau gives you out of box. I like that feature. Power BI query does not have this feature. Any questions so far? Good. Second thing, tables. So if you click on this one, this is pretty interesting. So tables. So this table right now, we are talking about single table. If you have multiple tables, like example, if I click here, so if you have multiple tables, so here what happens, if you, let's say, take a folder, and in this folder, let's say I'm collecting car data. So car 1, car 2, car 3, car 4. So maybe you are using one car data as a source, right? But if you select this thing, union multiple tables, then what will happen? It will give me opportunity to check mark that. So include subfolder. It means if I have a car, let's say, just an example, 2001, the 2003 data, and inside that there are data. So Tableau will go to all the data file, merge all, and bring you as a one table. Pretty cool, right? You don't have to do, data searching. You don't have to go like traversing to main folder to subfolder. Tableau will go there, get all data and give you one table, which is cool. So this feature also they recently introduced, which is you just click here and you can select subfolder. They also allow you another options, add file filter. So like example, you have a file which starts with ABC and you have also a bunch of file like that. And then you have another file start with data. Now you may want to process only, let's say ABC, then you can give this prefix that all ABC, bring this as a one file. If you want to bring all, you can bring all also one file, or you can say all data should be bring as a one file. You can do that. And that's kind of nice options available. Any questions so far? Good. Okay. Now the way
I have a question.
Sure.
What is that ABC and data? Is it the date or a file name?
File name. It's a file name. So like a car, if your car, let's say car, you have 2001, right? 2002, right? 2000, right? 3. And now you're 2020, 2021, 2022. So you say, you know what? I want car 2020. And then like this way, you can give a prefix car 202 star. It means it will pick from here also. It will bring 2020, 2021, 2022. It will, because you give a star here, because you can see this one only going to pick this data. But if you want to pick here, you can give this type of prefix also, which is cool, right? Sometimes you may have that, like example, test data or production data or quarterly data. So you can do that as well. Yes, Ivy.
For the union multiple tables, I'm just wondering, so by union, that means to append the different tables together, right?
Right.
Just in case they don't have the same structure, not the same column things, how should they union them together?
Yeah, so good question. Very good question. So if you, let's take an example. I have a table A, which I have two columns, ID and name. And I have table B, I have three columns, right? Maybe ID, name, and city, right? So when I do union, it will actually bring this data as is, and it will bring this data as is. And when you combine that, now you will have three columns, ID, name, and city. ID, name, and city. For these guys, city will be empty because you don't have it. For this guy, ID, name, and city will be there. So you will get like a combination. So it does not compare that you have identical columns or not. But you as a data analysis, you will only do union if you know what you're doing, right? So you can't mix car data with bike data, right? If you do that, you can do union, but it's not going to help you. So you have to have that type of understanding that data represents appropriate columns. If there are mismatch and you think it's okay, then you can do old table new table, you can do that much. But yeah, it will automatically append like that. So it's A plus B. A will have there 2 columns and B will have 3 columns, and this will be shown. And then you can apply filters, or you can do some kind of conditions and replace some of the empty value with 0 or something. It's up to you. But it won't cry. It won't cry. It will allow you. Any other questions? Good. Okay. I just want to make sure you are comfortable with what we're trying to do. Now, let's say you have data coming from 2 sources. Data coming from 2 sources. I'm drawing A and drawing B. Now, when you bring data from 2 sources, this is called join. Union is like this way. This is A table and this is the B table. So union take a row from this table, row from this table, and then it combine and create like this. It focus more on row. So basically, if you have 3 row here and 3 row here, then it will give you 6 row, because union, it's just like 2 plus 2, 4. That's it. That's union. It does not remove duplication. It brings everything. But in join, you have a lot of benefits. So I'll show you with example. So in join, the benefit you have is you combine it and you pick a column, you pick column. So join more focus on column. So you can pick column from both table and you get the result. So here you have to have something which is connecting 2 table. Means there should be something which is common between 2 tables. Then you can pick from first table what column you want, and you pick from second table what column you want. And then you combine and create a new table. This one allows you to find out which one is duplicate. So this is called inner join. Inner join means it is exist in both. So you can do that. Or you can say left outer join, means get everything from left table and matching from the right table. Or you can say get everything from right table and matching from the left table. So you can do that. Like you can do, sometimes you, like example, you have company like a Sears and Kmart. So Sears is a one file and Kmart is another file, and I'm interested in who are the customers exist in both sides. So who are existing both side, Kmart and Sears. So then in that case, I bring Kmart file and Sears file, and I can see which records are common. If yes, then these individuals are exist in both file. Or you can say, show me all customers who are in Kmart, and if there are matching customers in Sears, show me those details also. Or you can say, show me all detail from Sears and matching detail for Kmart. So such kind of things you can do through join. Very powerful. You will be often using, because for your project, when you have multiple tables without join, there is no better report you can get. And with join, you can go detailed reports. So it's very important that you know how to do join. Good news, it's just drag and drop. Those who are taking database class, especially on Saturday, we are going to cover join most likely this week, Saturday. So you will learn more. But here you don't have to write a single command. Everything will be done by Tableau by simple few clicks. Any questions? Good. Okay. So once you are done with this, once you are done with that, the last step is called output. Output. So if you click on output, you have some options to configure. So if you click on output, it gives you option. So first it shows that up to this, what data you are getting. So this is what data you can see that. Now we are saying that this one will be stored as a file and the file will be output, and we have choice to select. So I can select Excel, Hyperfile, or other point, like example CSV. So I can select that. Most people select either CSV file or Excel file. So like example, if I do CSV, so what will happen from here to here, from here to here, flow will happen, and then output will be stored in this location. If you don't like these locations, you may want to just click here, right? You can click here. Sorry, not this one, location, and this locations you can change the browse. So you can click on a browse and you can change where you want to create this file. So if you do that, this location will automatically change. Make sense so far? right? So now the best way to learn this thing is try simple exercise and follow the flow, right? So can I count everyone has installed and now Tableau prep is up and running? Okay, perfect. Can I count? Awesome. Now, see guys, I'm going to create a bare minimum, very simple exercise so you can really enjoy this exercise. First thing first, in order for me to do exercise, what I'm going to create, I'm creating two files. Let me set the stage first. You all need to understand the concept so you will enjoy this ride. We're going to create two files. We're going to create two files, right? Let's say I create a simple that this is a class one, that's one, and this is class two. So I have two files, class one and class two. And I'm going to create columns, ID, name. Here I'm going to do city. And I'm going to do here similar ID, name, and country for time being. We'll say one, let's say name maybe Tom and city, and two, some name, city, three, name and city. And here ID, some ID will repeat it. Then I'll say 4, 6, 7 like that. And we'll do 3 records here also. So basically we are keeping some record common, some record only here, some records only here. So we can play around some of the exercise. Most important thing is you understand how flow works. Then you practice with the homework. So that will give you more confidence. Tool is pretty simple, but sometimes, clicking a couple of times, it's a little challenging. So we're going to create two CSV file. We're going to create two CSV file to do this exercise. Any questions so far before we do this exercise? Good so far? Awesome. So right now, let's open a notepad. Open a notepad. And then in a notepad, let's write this way. ID, comma, name, comma, city. I'll give you the data also, but make sure you create a notepad. So you don't have to type. I'll give you data in a chat. So you will have time saving. Tom, and let's say Chicago. 2, team, let's say New York. 3, Amy, Detroit. 4, Mike, Chicago. 5, Kevin, Detroit. Right? So I have this data. I'm going to give you in chat so that we save some time and consistency will be happening because we all will be using same data sets. So it's always a good idea to, for some reason it's not coming. Yep, here you go. So now we'll save this file as a class 1. So I'll say file, please see on the screen, file, save as, file, save as, file, save as, and go to download. That would be easiest thing to do. So file, save as, select download, select download, all star, and here you can say double quotation, class1.csv. Make sure you use double quotation. That way the file extension will be CSV. So I say class1.csv. Okay. So make sure you select download, double quotation, class1.csv and click save. Give me thumbs up if you're able to follow me and click on save. Good. Awesome. 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 Now I'm going to use the same file. I'm going to remove a couple of rows, right? And I'm going to add maybe some few more rows. So 6, let's say Elena, let's say Detroit. 9, Rose, let's say Chicago. Say Kathy, Detroit. So I created other file. First file was class 1. Now I'm going to save this file. I'm going to give you data. And I'll say file save as. file, save as, file, save as, right? File, save as, let me repeat, file, save as, and this time we're going to say all files in double quotation, class2.csv, right? So this is a separate file. Please understand, we change some data so that way we can process nice. So a couple of rows are same, but some rows are different. And we are saving as a double quotation, all files, class2.csv, and save it. Now, if you've done that, I would say, congratulations, you know how to create a dummy data. You should do dummy data to play around, to learn about it. I'm going to give you real data, but it's always a good idea to have small data so we can see it and we can learn it. So I want to show you apple to apple, both files in front of you. So I have class 1 file. So you can see here, this is a class 1 file and this is a class 2. And I think you both have, means you see both, you have seen both files. So you shouldn't have any problem. You can see 1 and 5, they are matching, right? Both, and the rest of the things are not matching. If you're okay, then we can do exercise. Ready so far? Give me thumbs up. It's okay to give thumbs up, right? It's a cost nothing, right? Simple thumbs up. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, this is called appreciation and acknowledgement. See, I work in a real field, and one thing I notice, communication, communication, and communication. Sometimes people are afraid to even give thumbs up. So just to give idea, sometimes what happens, you are individuals helping you or working with you, and you become like very professional. Thank you, and done. That's not. Sometimes, you know, it's, you need to go beyond. Just this is the way they help you more. Anyway, right now we have 2 files. So I'm going to my Tableau prop builder and I'll say file. No, my mistake. Yeah, let's do file new. So we're going to create a brand new file new. We are going to create a brand new flow. So file new. It will open a new Tableau prep builder like that. Give me thumbs up if you are able to come up to this level. File new. Yeah, perfect. See, if you are stuck, you should stop me immediately, not after 5 minutes, because going back is not a worth of our time. So see, I'm showing you, I'm setting the stage and all, but at the end of the day, you know what you're doing, right? It's important that you follow the flow. And sometimes, you know, in case if you have a problem, you can always ask question. So now we're going to connect data. So when we connect data, we are doing CSV file. So we're going to read one of the files. So connect data. So you can see these are data file you can connect to. You can connect to many places. So now we are actually using CSV file. So let me see if I have CSV comma separated. So if I do CSV, it is understanding text file, which is good. So I'm going to type CSV and I click on text file. So if I click on that, it will give me options. I type CSV, right? And it gives me option to select text file. I click on that, it will give me dialog box. And then I'll go to my data folder, which I'm already download folder. I'm in download folder and I'm going to click on class 1 CSV, class 1 CSV. Just double click on it and you are in. Let me know if you're able to see that. Double click on it and you're in. Was it hard at all getting data? Just like I open CSV file, you can open Excel file, right? Now, a couple of things we want to learn. So making sure we are very clear about it. First thing, it knows where I got the data. It knows the data came from this location. So that is clear. It is smart enough to know that there is a header file. It knows that the header is here. It also knows there are data start from second row. So I can see my data view. If I feel like something is not clear as a data type, I can click here and change the data type like that, right? If something is not needed, like example, this thing is not needed, you can just click here and remove the field. So as soon as I remove the field, it will maintain the changes. So if I click in changes, it will show you that right now it's automatically remove the field. So you can see it knows this is not needed. So it removed it. So any change you will do, it will be tracked. Right now, I don't need to do anything because my data looks good. I'm sure you can see this data is coming from my CSV file. There's nothing wrong in this data, but this looks good. So now let's say I want to So by default, as soon as I got my data file, it added source here. But there are many ways you can add source. So you can click on plus sign and you can look for class 2 and you can get, or you can drag and drop class 2 here. So let me show you. Let's do here. You click on the plus sign, and if I click on plus sign again, CSV, and click on text file. And when you click on text file, go to class 2, double click on it, and you can see that. So you have both file A and B. Any questions so far? You can see here class 1 and class 2. I have both file visible, and if I click on one, I will see the data from class 1, you can name city. And if I click on this, the data is name city. I should have changed the country. I would change to I should have changed to country, but that's fine. That's fine. I did not change the country. Let me do one thing. I have class 2, right? Class 2 file, right? Let's change to country. Maybe that would be helpful. So I'm going to change to country here. I'll give you the data. I'm changing class 2, right? Country. And this is maybe USA. Sorry, if I change the country, then other exercise, let me keep it like that because I want to do join, will not be able to do. Sorry?
Hi, how to open
Sorry?
the second class 2 file in the Tableau?
Same, just like first, click on plus.
Okay.
Go to plus, then search CSV, text file, go to class 2, double click on it, and you get that.
Oh, okay.
Same thing. Now what I'm going to do, let's change the class 2 because that would be helpful. So I'm going to change the heading to country, and I'm going to give you this. Don't worry. In 2 minutes, I'll give you USA. Let's say Canada. And this one is, let's say Mexico. Let's say this one is Canada. This is USA. So I'm going to give you this file. You can save as a class 2. So I change it to class 2, heading country, and I change this value, and I'm going to save it. So class 2, I'm going to save it. You can see that I changed the original source. I changed the original source of class 2. The country is the column, USA and all, those are the value. I save it. But in class 2 here, if I move my mouse, it still shows city. Why? Because it is in memory, right? So I have to refresh that. So I'll see here if I can refresh it here, right? So the options available here, see here. If I click here, there's an option here, refresh data. So I have option, which one I want to refresh. So you can see here, refresh. So I'm going to refresh class 2 and see if this heading becomes country, then it did refresh very well. So class 2, and right now it's refreshed. Give me thumbs up if you're able to do so. Good. Awesome. Good. Okay, now let's do further. Now I'm more curious. So before you do anything, there is a plus button. So let's move your mouse and you will see what you can do. So if you move your mouse and click on the plus sign, you learn this thing. And these are the step available. Now cleaning allows you to, remove some columns. So if you want to remove some column, you can do that. If you want to remove some rows, you can do that. If you want to split something, column, you can do that. If you want to convert uppercase to lowercase, you can do that. Anything you want to change, you can do that. So it's kind of operation steps you can do. Aggregate is nothing but sum, max, mean, count, like that. Pivot is like example, your column like this. And if you want to convert that to this way, you can do that. Or you have this way. And if you want to convert this way, you can do that. Union means you can do add A plus B, right? Which will give you total rows. Joins I'll teach you. Script I will not be able to cover because in order for me to teach R script, you need R programming, means we'll do later. And predictions we cannot do. We need license for that because this is the forecasting. So we cannot do that, but output will do that. So right now, let's get started. So right now, I'm going to see right now class 2, I'm going to click here. or you can just click on plus sign and say clean step. So you will see it is adding clean step and your data will show up here. Let me know if you are able to do that. Okay, now let's do the same thing. Click on plus sign and do clean step. So you can see steps are added. As you can see here, anytime this thing, so you can see here 3 fields and 5 rows. So anytime if you have millions of rows, you have a way to do filter. So you can filter it. Just giving an example. Sometimes, filter works a little awkward, so be careful. But sometimes, it doesn't do good job. So this is my original record just for knowledge purpose. I'm showing you. As soon as I show that, you will see that the changes will apply here and it will track the change steps. So right now I'm clicking here in this dotted line and try to see what are the things I can do. So these are options available for me to do cleaning, data massage and transformations. So let's see here. So clean. So in clean, they're saying make uppercase. I'm more interested in making uppercase because it's a name. So I'm going to click on this thing. Please see here. I click here. I say clean uppercase. As soon as I do that, it will add 1 here and that it will track what did I do, right? So let's do that. So clean uppercase, and you can see it added uppercase. Now I'm going to click on expand. So you can see that it does tell me that uppercase apply for name column. And this is converted uppercase. Pretty cool. Easy. Good. Now I want to do the same thing on a clean one. You click on that, very well. So you click on dots and say, I want to do clean and uppercase. Easy. Both sides I apply. Now I go further. Now let's say I'm in a class 2. Please understand, I'm following the flow properly. Both cases I apply up. As I do transformation, you can see nice icon is applied. Now I want to, in a class 2, I want to filter data. Just an example that I want to give data which is less than 10. It means this data Tom will not show up. So how do I do that? So you might notice that one interesting thing here. This data, please understand this data, you might notice that it shows everything. If you see this data, it shows everything. But if you see this data, it shows column, then it shows this. Can anybody explain me why? What is happening here? Why it is not showing me 5 rows and it's showing me?
It is aggregating group by.
Excellent. So this automatically aggregate. This is called summary. But if you see bottom, it shows the complete detail. So bottom, it shows complete detail. Here it shows the distribution. So if you carefully read that, it says that Canada and US are often repeated and Mex is repeated less time. Now, if you don't want this thing, then you click on dot and look for, so right now you can see here it's grouping, right? So right now it's grouping by country here. So you can see here dot, right? So here, what are the options available? So here it's doing detail on this. So this part right now, you can see here, it is automatically grouping that part, but real data is here. So sometimes, by just observing by eyeball, you can see that these items are 1 time repeated. These items are 1 time repeated. But if you move mouse, it says 2 time repeated, 1, and this is 2 times. So you can see that details. So sometimes, good idea to see how these distributions are looked at. But I want to apply filter. I have 2 ways to apply filter. One, I can apply filter straightforward here. So I can apply filter, like example, I can say, what? I just want only particular things. So like example, Tom. So if I apply Tom and if I select just Tom, see here. So if I select Tom here, so then it is selecting Tom. I can apply that filter and keep only. It means now Tom only will be, or I can say exclude, so Tom will be excluded. So as soon as I do that, there will be step added, right? Let's say I don't want to do that. So you just remove that. So I remove that part, no issue. Now, no issue. So I'm kind of coming back here. So no problem. Now I'll click here outside, then one more click here. Now I'm here. Let's say I want to filter. I don't want all 10 rows, but let's say I want to say if ID is ID is less than 9, show me, otherwise don't show. So I'm going to apply a filter. As soon as I apply filter, you will see one more item is added here. So let's do that. So as a filter, now it gives you tons of columns and all. You can go crazy if you want to. But there are two things. One is the function and one is the column. So this is the functions. These are all functions. Again, uppercase, lowercase, mixed case, and it takes life to understand all functions. Depends on your need. You will use function. Like example, if you want to do date difference, or if you want to get month, you want to get year, you can do. And there are certain functions will go as we find. But let's say I want to have conditions. I want a condition that if ID is less than 10, then apply. Otherwise, don't show me. So let me repeat one more time. I'm in a class 2. So I'm in a class 2. I'm applying filter. Now, any columns, if you want to apply, these are columns. Your columns are ID, name, and city. So if you want to apply any condition, so you can just start typing ID, and it will give you hint here. If it shows rectangle, it's a column. So I just tapped ID. So a column is added, and you have to add a condition here. So ID I added, and I'll say if ID is less than 10, then show me. That's what we are saying. If it's something wrong, let's say if I make a typo, right, then you will get error here right away. So you can click here, error. It will give you error. You don't need error. If you have error, you cannot move forward. So let's say I have ID less than 10. I don't want to write rectangle box. So I type ID and it gives me rectangle. I click on it. So that's the column. And then I give conditions, whatever I want. I can and, or I can use a lot of complex condition also. Now, if I apply, check it out. If I apply, what will happen? This filter will apply and the row will be gone. 10 will not show up and it will have one additional step. So check it out. So now I apply. As soon as I apply, you can see the filter is added and now one row is gone. And now I'm going to cancel it. Any questions so far? So far, so good. Now, let's say I'm here. Let's say I want to come up with some kind of mechanism, right?
Sure.
So yes, go ahead.
I clicked apply and it didn't do anything.
Did you do this filter? Oh, you might not have 10 row. If you don't have 10, you might not see that. So I have 10. Do you have 10 in your rows? Because this is my class 1 and this is my class 2. So if you don't have 10, then you won't see the data. You will not see the reflection there.
Yeah, I do have it. I don't know.
Check one thing. Let's one more time. So I'm going to click on the plus sign. Sorry, clean. Click on filter, right? Click on filter and say type ID, right? Make sure you click on the ID and let's say less than 10, right? And apply. Right?
Oh, I thought it would. You know what? It did apply it. I thought it would dismiss that, but it stayed up.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it did apply it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. No problem. Now, if you want to do anything here, just see there are so many things you can do. So example, you want to rename the column, like example, this column, I thought it's supposed to be capital column. So you can rename the column, right? If you click here, if you want to change the data types, you can do that also. So like country, right? If you want to do data types, if you want to do change here, you can do that also. Sometimes your data, which is requires split. So there are tons of things. It looks simple, but tons of things you can do. So filter, like example, if there is a null, you can say, hey, remove the null. I don't want null. So you can remove the null. If you want a wildcard, like wildcard match, if you want this type, like if email is Gmail, then show me that. You can do that. If you have a mathematic model, like example, A column B, A plus B, you can do that. If you want a duplicate column, keep only, there are so many things you can say here. Split column, auto split and all, like all those things available for your fingertip. You can apply that. Sometimes based on the column. So here you can see these are, if you see here, it is all spelling related, like split, uppercase, lowercase, like that. But if you go to same thing in a numeric, there are different columns you will see. The informations will be different, right? You will have other options, right? So based on the selection, you can, this is called context sensitive. Based on your data, whatever data types, you will see different options. If your date, that you will see different option also. But anyway, you got the idea at this moment. Now, I want to show that first I'll show you union. So union means it will combine both table rows and it will create a group like that. So you will have union. So union does that. So how does union work? So click on the plus one of them and then click on union. So you will click on union, you will see like that, right? So this is we are saying that one source is coming from here and the second source comes from somewhere else, but this is the union. Now, if you tie with one, the second is still not there. So second, it's tricky. You have to move your mouse and you have to drag this guy, drag it and drop exactly here. So if you move your mouse and drag like that, you get a lot of options. You want to do add, union, join. So each one has a meaning, right? I will do wrong. So just you will understand. If I do union at the bottom, right? If I do union at the bottom, then what will happen? It will create a new step like that. That's not I want. That's what I not. That's I don't want. So I'll do Control Z. But Control Z through I can go back. So if I drag like union on the middle, that is what I want because that's a real union. This one will create additional step of union. But here, if I do that, now it's union. So what happened right now? So let me do Control Z one more time in case if you are not very clear. This one, I click on union. So I got a union. But this step, I don't need to do union because this is going to be added as a part of this union. So this is one source, this is one source. So the channel 1 will be added here, channel 2 will be added, and then output will be generated. So I drag this guy and drop just on top of it. So check it out. You move your mouse and you drop exactly on top of it. When you do so, now union happen. Give me thumbs up if you're able to do so. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Good. Very limited thumbs up I got. Maybe I'm hoping everyone is following. Yes, Ivy, any question?
I could do it, Tusha, but I just don't understand. You know, if I drop it on it, what's the difference between this union and the one below it?
Yeah, very good. I think you should have asked a little bit earlier.
But you said we will create a new table.
No, it creates a new step. No, it's a next new step. That's different. Unnecessary CPU time, compute time.
But the content will be the same, right?
Content will be same, but unnecessary, like, rather than doing one step, you're now doing in two steps, which doesn't look good, right? Technically, we can do in one step, which will be faster. This one will be slower because you are doing here and then you are doing here. So you are adding additional step. Content will be same, but the concept people may not like it because if you can do one way, which is the appropriate way, then you should do that. But yes, you're right. Answer will be the same way.
Okay, thank you.
But this is the right way to do. If I want these stops and then output of this emerge here, that's a different story, right? That's union is different, right? But here, union only had a one source. And then second source you are doing later, which doesn't look good. So that's the reason we do that. Now, please understand, at this moment, if I move my mouse here, you can see here at the bottom, carefully notice that you will see, if you see the bottom, carefully notice what will happen here. Let me expand this thing. You can see both table. You can see class 1 and class 2. Do you guys agree? City, country also you can see. Do you guys agree? So you got A and B, both class. Are you guys able to see? Just clicking here, you can see that. Yes or no? So this way you can union what it does, it add both of them. Now, let's say you want to generate output. So how do you generate output? Very simple. You click on the plus sign, right? And you can click on, I want to generate output. So here there's an option called output. So if you click on output, it will get you the output step like that. So it says that if you do these steps, start to end, I will generate this file for you. Now, this side we can configure. So first of all, where you want to generate the output. Let's say I want to generate output in my what do you call data download folder. So you can click on browse, and go to download folder. So I click on download folder. So here, download folder, and I'll say accept. So right now, what I'm saying that the output will be generated under this folder. So I click on a browse. I click on browse, and through browse, I specify the location. But I don't want this file. This is nothing but it's a special hyper file, which is like Tableau proprietary files. Only Tableau Prep Builder can understand. So like example, you are doing flow A, right? And this flow, you want to merge in another flow as a, we call subtask. You can do that. If you're this file, then entire flow will be added into others. But I don't want to do that. I want to generate output. So I have a couple of choices. I can generate output as a CSV file or Excel file. So let's do CSV for time being. So now what we are saying is generate a file name output under this location, and the extension will be CSV. So output.csv will be generated here. So these all data will be in this file called output.csv under this folder. So far, are you guys with me? Good. Awesome. So now we don't have to do anything. We just need to click on run flow. So if you click on run flow here, or you can click on run flow here. So I'm going to run flow. So as soon as I run flow, what will happen? Check. It will go through that. If it is successful, I should see output.csv under download folder. So click on run flow. It is running and it says finish. For me, it's successful. What about you guys? Good. Awesome. So if I go now in my download folder, I'll say done. And if I go to my download folder, there should be output.csv. So download, and you can see outputs.csv is there. And if you right click and open with Notepad, right? Right click and open with Notepad, you will see all the data which we are able to see on the screen is listed here. So you are successfully able to generate your output. Questions so far? Make sense? So whatever the class 1 you had, whatever class 1 you have is here. Whatever class 2 you have is here. And then you merge that class and you generated this output, because that's what union means. Are we clear with union? Good. Now I'm not happy with union. I want to do merge. So I'm going to show you merge so you all understand. For merge, you will not have number of rows. You can have number of columns, because you are kind of mapping. Merge help you for mapping between two tables. How many data are common? So that's what we are trying to do that. So for that, I'm going to delete union. I'm going to delete output. So this is, I just click on it and delete, press delete. I click and then press delete. So that is deleted. So far, so good, everyone? Yeah. Now here, I'm going to click on plus sign, and this time I'm going to say join. I'm going to click on join. So it will cry first. It say, are you kidding? You're joining with one table? No way. You need 2 tables to join. Okay, good enough. So for this one, I'm trying to do join with here. So when I do join, at that time, I have options. Do I want to do inner join? Inner join means both has the same data. Left outer join means I'm going to get all data from this table and matching data from this table. If I do right outer join, I'll get all data from this table and matching data from this table. So I can do that as well. So right now, I'm going to drag this guy and drop it here. I'm going to put it all on the middle, not side, not middle. So when I do the middle, you can see now it's a join. It's crying a little bit. So you click on that. And the reason it is crying, because it seems like it could not figure it out which column to join. Are you guys able to see so far? Right? So the problem happened here right now. It's not able to find out which columns to join, right? So we have to do some magic here to educate that table 1 and table 2. You are joining with a special column called ID. So for that, I see error. Until I resolve the error, it will not move forward. It will not show the data. So I'm going to click on the plus sign here because I got an error. Sometimes it works directly, sometimes it doesn't work. So click on plus sign. So I click on plus sign. So here I'm going to select ID from first table, right? I select ID and select ID from second table. And when I do that, now magic happen. Give me thumbs up if you're able to see the result. Indumati and others, are you guys able to do it? I'm not seeing your thumbs up.
I got lost some.
I can't follow, but I can understand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you are understanding, that is perfect. But in case if you have a problem, anything, please ask. Goal of the exercise is not just only I do it, but I want you all to follow. Ideally, you should be able to follow. See, you can see how many people are giving thumbs up. I want you to say thumbs up because that's the real life. Because we'll do multiple exercise. Okay, it's not end of the world, but make sure, in case if you're using small laptop, you can divide your screen into two slide, right? One is like my screen and one is yours, so you can follow the flow. You should not toggle like screen, but ideally you should follow. The more you follow, you are becoming efficient, right? It's important. We'll do a couple of exercise, but make sure after break we'll do one more exercise that also you can follow along with me. Now let's understand this portion.
Katusha, can you just repeat that? I don't want to get the class, but I didn't get those, the clean 1, clean 2 to join. They're still not joined. And you did something
plus sign? Did you click plus sign?
No.
Yeah, in plus sign, you have to select ID and ID. See if you can do that. The plus sign, you click on plus sign, just select ID and ID. That's all. Click on plus sign.
No, I don't get that. You did something drag and drop clean 2 to join 1.
You can see, you can see here. And it just drag and
didn't come out. It didn't come out. It creates another step when I do that.
It means you are not putting on the middle. Remember, that's what IV's question was. IV question was why you should put on the middle, right? If you put in a side, you will have additional steps. So you do Control Z and go back.
Okay.
Then you will see that. And then you have to click on plus sign and make sure you select ID because that is a matching column between two tables. So once you do matching, you will see the result. Good. Now here, a lot of things is interesting. You should learn about it. This is very interesting topic here. So what happened is, please pay attention. We are doing join. And this side, it gives a summary of join. So first it says that you are doing inner join, the field color, inner join. Inner join means those records are exist in both table that will be showing up. So you can see here, one in clean 1, which is this one, right? Sorry, my mistake, this one, and one is this one. So it says that this table has 1 and 5, and 1 and 5 are matching. So these are matching. So you can see these are common data. So here, if you read carefully, it shows the color. It shows the color. So if you notice, there is each flow has a color. So this says a blue color. So this is the blue color. It's a blue color has a 2 record which is matching and 3 record which is not matching. So you can see here the blue, this is the blue part. So you can see this one is not matching, this one is not. So these are not 3 not matching. Now it shows orange color. In orange color, it says that 2 are matching and 2 are not matching. So you can see 2 are not matching. So it gives idea what is matching and what is not matching. And it also tells us after join, only 2 record you will see. So if I go further, only 2 record I can carry forward. And those are common record. Now, if you say, no, that made a mistake. I want all record from, let's say, from this table and matching record from here. So in that case, just click here. That will create a left outer join automatically. So if you click on that, it says that now, it says that 4 record will be matching here. 4 record will be matching and there is no excluded record. And from other table, 2 matching. It means there are a lot of nulls. So here you can see some nulls. So here, total, you have 4 records. This guy has a 4 record because it's a clean one. So 4 records are here. Out of 4, for other side, clean 2, I can see 2 record matching. So if you see carefully, the clean 1, whatever clean 1 has a 1, 569. This is a clean one, right? But then there are matching record for 2, which is this 2. So 2 records are matching 1 and 5, but wherever it is not matching, it's going null. Null means there is no matching on other side. That's the left side. But if you say, no, I want to focus on class clean 2. So you click on that. So if you click on that, you're taking all record from this side. You're clicking all record from this side. Let me, click on this one. So make sure sometimes, you have to click a couple of times, making sure. So here you are saying, I'm taking all record from left or right side. So you can see here, it's a 5 record and 5 out of 5 included and 0 excluded. And there are 2 record matching here. So you can see the summary, which is kind of cool. You know why the data is left out. Maybe it is possible that your spelling mistake. Maybe it's possible you have made something wrong. So in that situation, you may want to click here and change that. So data might appropriately match. So sometimes you have, let's say, somebody write USA, just an example, and somebody write United States of America. And if you say, no, this is a USA. So you can change it. As you change, your quality will improve. And this number, so here it shows the quality, how much data you are excluding, how much data you're null. So when this hash sign type of thing, you see like there are a lot of nulls. Null means there is not matching record in both table. Only 2 records are matching and 3 records are not matching. Questions? Questions? Now, in this case, let's say right now you did join, just an example, and let's say I don't want to have same column twice, right? This ID is here, this ID is here. So I'm gonna click on the column, right? And I'll say remove that. So I'm removing ID because it's repeating a couple of times, and name also repeating. So I click here and I say remove. So I remove ID, I remove name. So I have now 4 columns, and I'm also going to remove this one. So click here and remove. So now I have 4 columns: city, ID, and name. City, ID, name, and I also got column from other table, country. So I have 4. If you want to reorganize this thing, right? So if you move mouse here, like drag and put it here, so you can reorganize ID. Let's say reorganize name. You can just drag and organize name, city, and country. So you have now 4 columns. So every time I do some remove, you can see change set has changed. So if I click on change set, you will see what items I have done, what item I removed it, right? Now, let's say I have null here and I want to remove the null, right? I want to remove or exclude the null. Very simple. You just click here. You just click here and you can say, hey, I want to clean. And if there is option available, so remove all space, remove. So here, not a null. So let's see here. 1 second. Oh, filter, they have filter. Okay, here. So filter null. So in this dotted line, the filter, if I say null value, so what will happen? It will hide null value from us. So null value is gone. So you can see, do you want to keep it or say select values to keep? I'll say keep non-null value, keep non-null value. And then I said done. So you can see now I have nice data. Give me a thumbs up if you are able to do so. Good so far? Good. Thank you, Jay. Good. So anytime you want to have a filter, you click here and play around. So you can click on that filter and then you can play around the null and null. So it's very important that if any times if you want to remove, keep, follow that. Now data looks clean. I can see the data. The join merge will give me this thing. Perfect. That's fine. Now I want to go further. So I want to go further and let's say I want to add an output. So I click on plus sign and I put output. So output is here. So I put output. So I have output here. So you can see here, so far it looks good. Same concept. I'll select output here. I'll say this is CSV file, right? And I don't want this location. I want my download folder. So I can click on browse. I don't need this location. I click on browse. So if I click on browse, I'll select the output here and not here, my mistake, download. I select download and I'll say accept. There is already file. I'll replace that. Now everything looks good. I will run the flow. If it works fine, then I should see output file, which should have 2 rows. So if I run flow, it says output file with the same name exists. I'll say replace it. It replace can't generate because there is an error. So now here is the interesting part. Because you have error here. This error, because remember we have removed ID column. So now it's a, hey, you remove ID column. That's the problem. Because if you remove ID column, how am I going to do join? So let's see how we can correct it. So if we go back here, it is crying on this field, right? ID1, it is crying from ID1. So there is a concept called remove and one is the concept called hide. Okay. So right now, see here, there are 2 types. So I'm going to remove here. So check it out. If I remove here, now the error disappear, error disappear, error disappears. I do not have any problem here. The only thing error disappear because I was removing 2 times. So anytime you have red color, right? Anytime you have red color, you click on that step, see the change set, which one is generating error. For me, the error was because I was removing 2 times. So there was an option. I say just remove this step and I remove the step. Now everything is normal. Now if I click on output, still output is nice. And if I click on run flow, it will ask output generated. If you are able to generate output in download folder, go to download folder and see if you have data with two rows. See if your output has data with 2 rows. And if answer is yes, you are doing awesome. For me, I can see on the screen right away, I have 2 rows and all the column which I was looking for, ID, name, cities are there. Question, concerns, doubt. Question, concerns, doubt. So far, so good. People on phone, any questions?
Yeah, mine didn't error, but I'll have to look at the recording because.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. No, the following is sometimes is a little challenging. Don't worry. After break, we're going to do different exercise. If you are this is the technique I always tell people that when you are using online, you have to use your screen into split if you don't have 2 monitors. So like you can move your mouse and you can connect like that. So half, and then you can have half my screen. That is the best way to do. You will not miss any step because you can easily see, you can do it. But if you do flip-flop, it is difficult to map and follow. So let's take a small break. After break, we're going to do this exercise, not this similar exercise one more time. This time we'll do some other step. So that way you learn how process works and your homework will create a group. So that way you guys can work in a group and do some exercise along with that. Sounds good? So after break, we're going to do brand new exercise. So in case if you are not done, we should be fine. We can do that. Make sure your Tableau prep install. Okay. So right now it's 8:24. So let's take around 10-15 minutes break. If you want to double check that file, once you download, it should be in your download folder. You can double click on that and you will see that simple file with the couple of records. Very simple file, name, English, math, science. Right. So I downloaded class 1. See if you guys can download and give me thumbs up that yes, you have file class 1. Like whatever name you download, make sure you remember that name, because if you have already that file, you may want to remember the name. So this is my file. I'm going to change the name so I can be easily remembering this. I'll say class4.xls. Just I don't want to have 1, 2, 3. Can I count everyone has the file downloaded? Yes or no? Because most of the time what happens when you don't have a file downloaded, after 5 minutes you say, oh, I didn't download, then you will not be able to do lab. The reason I'm doing lab, so you can follow me carefully, right? The file which I gave you is this one, right? You click on and download it. If you still do not have, I can give you a link directly, but copy and download that file. When you download, it will go to download folder. And when you download that file, if the names are different, you just click on that and change that to class 4, that whatever name you want. Doesn't matter. Name doesn't matter as long as your data inside. Okay. I'm counting that you are able to download that file. At this moment,
When I download the file, it's saying Dropbox for free, and it's
that should be
giving out.
Yeah, no. Read in English. At the bottom, there is say download without account or something. Do you see that link? Without account. There is a link if you see that carefully.
Okay.
Do you see that? Yeah. So sometimes, there are different options available, but there is a link that if you click on that link, it will download. Shouldn't take more time. It's simple file, right? Is it fair that everyone downloaded? Now start your Tableau Prep Builder. I really want all of you to do this exercise, and it's important that you do step by step, because remember, if you have a problem, then you have to watch recording, but I really want you to do at least 1 or 2 exercises so you feel good about that exercise. Okay, so let's get started. At this moment, this file has a little bit different data, so we'll have a different exercise to perform. You may like it, trust me. So now when the Tableau Builder opens, we'll open that file which we just downloaded, and then we'll do some massage, and you will see that it's not that hard. It's simple, it's powerful. These kind of things you can only learn when you do with the tool, right? So if it asks you continue the trial, yes. Make sure you practice within 1 or 2 days, because the license only lasts for 2 weeks. And if it doesn't last, you may want to remove and reinstall. Can I count everyone has opened Tableau Prep Builder? Awesome, awesome. Good, good. Avni is doing good. Good, good. Awesome. Please understand, your computer may have a little bit extra memory. It will be faster. Some of your computer may be slower, but you should be able to open Tableau Prep Builder. If it works for 1 time, it will work 2nd time also. When you open, you might have a flow. Don't worry about those flow, because those are your homework or you have done some activity. We are going to start with connect to data. So that's the first step we'll do, connect to the data. So when you do that, you go to download folder and open that Excel file which you just did. So here we'll select Excel. We'll select Excel. So again, we say connect to data, we'll select Excel. And when you select Excel, we'll go to download folder and we'll select the class folder. Double click on it. Can I count everyone is here? Awesome. 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 Good so far? Making sure all of you are able to do the exercise. Good. Yeah, Thomas, thank you. Yeah. Indumati, are you able to open or no? Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. I'm trying.
Okay. I'm hoping your computer is supporting you, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. As long as you're able to open Tableau Prep Builder, click on connect, go to Excel and open your Excel file. So when you do so, this file.
Yeah, I opened it.
Great. And next, let's follow the flow this time. Okay. A little bit harder, a little bit faster, a little bit focus. You should be able to do the lab. So this is the data, and data has 2 tables, right? Now, Tableau gives you very interesting concept called use data interpreter. So what happens sometimes your data file, please pay attention. Sometimes your data file, you have unnecessary row here, but your column starts from here. Your column starts from here, all columns, and then your rest of the data rows are here. So Tableau is so smart. If you use this thing, it will automatically remove this thing and it will start your column and it will read appropriately. So I like this thing. So I always click on here. Nothing wrong in that. So it's just a good idea to click. It does remove and does nicely. Now you drag class A and drop class A here. Drag and drop. So when you drag and drop, you see what data you see here. The only thing you need to do is drag and drop. So I drag and drop class A. You can see name, English and math. You see that name, English, math. Now I want to drag and drop again. So I do class B, drag and drop somewhere on a wide portion. So there will be a two flow. So there will be a two flow. I'm going to minimize and you can see that there are two flow. If I do class B, name, English, math. If I say name, English, math, people are different. Just click on this block and just check it out. Now you know, you click here and check it out. They all have 3 columns. Okay. Can I count everyone is doing good? I drag and I drop here. Awesome. Now, because these files are similar, class A and class B, I want to merge them. So what should I do? What should I do? How do I merge it? What should I do? No one is speaking. You click on plus sign, right?
Union.
Exactly. At least someone needs to speak, right? I have 15 students, no one speaks. Huh? Very good. Union. So this type of questions you may be asking in interview, and the only way you will answer if you've done it. So I'm going to do union, right? Please understand union. So I did union. Once I do union, this will have one source. The second source come from here. So in that case, we don't have this clean stack, right? So we can try to drag straight here like that, this one. And if it allows me to do that, otherwise we do clean data, and then we'll do that. So right now I'm going to click on plus and you can see I'm dragging and dropping here. Make sure drop in the middle. Let me repeat one more time. I'm clicking on the plus sign. I drag this thing. You can see here, and I'm dropping on the orange in the middle. And when I do that, I have union. If I click on the union, I should see both data. Let me know if you're able to see the both data. So you need to do adjustment, but you can see now at the bottom, I can see both data. It does say class 4, class A, class B, but I see all data. Good so far? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Ivy. So basically we are doing drag and drop. That's why Tableau becomes so simple and easy. There is no coding required. I always tell people, if you just know how to use mouse, this is very simple software. You create a plus sign, you click union, right? And then you have a plus sign, you just drag that and you drop in the middle, so union. Now I will go to next level. So please understand, I have all data. So I click on the plus and I click on a create clean step. So click on clean step. Now, please understand, I have name, English, math, and science. What I really want, I want to add another column for total. I want to add another column called total. So how do I do that? So here I already have this thing. So I can create a calculated column. I can create a calculated column. So please see here, I'm going to click on this. I'm here and I can create a calculated column. So here you can see here the dotted line, the calculated column. So I just say create calculated column. Some of you might have visible directly. For me, because I have minimal screen, it was not visible. So here I can create a calculated column. So using this data, I'm going to create a new column and that will be my total. So click on it, you get a dialog box and just give a name total. Total. Please understand. I click on create calculate column and I got this thing. Now you write the column name. So in our column name is math, science, and English. So we write math and it will give me a rectangle block. You click on it. Then I write a plus science and we click on it. Then plus English and you click on it. So you have total. Math, science, English. You will say why? Because these are column name. I'm doing total. And when you say save, it will add one more column in the available column. So as soon as I add total, it's there. And you can see now this side closing, it added a column here. So in closing, if I click on the changes, you can see that I have one column total and this is added. In case if I want to drag this, you can just drag and drop here. You can do that. Just drag this guy and drop it here. So you can drag and drop like easily. So again, whichever works for you. you can do that part. So like example, I want to drag and drop after science, I can do that. And whichever column I don't like it, I can hide that. So if I don't like it, I hide field because I don't need that. So I need name, English, math, science, and total. Any questions so far? Any questions? How did I got a total or anything? Any questions? Everyone is doing good so far? Awesome. Now we are going to do average. So let's do that. So here we're going to do add column again. So we'll say create calculate column and we'll say average. Now we have, sorry, cancel, let me, my mistake. I don't want to select that. Create a calculate column and I'll say average. And that average will be divided by total divided by 3 because I have total 3 subjects. So I'm going to do average and I save it. So now I have average column added. Good so far. In case if I want to go back, I click on the pencil sign, right? Create column, pencil sign, and I can go here and I can change it. If I don't like this name, I can change that also. Good. Now you can see there are so many decimal numbers you have. So you may want to try to format a little bit. So let's see what we have here. So here we have options available. Let's see what we can do here. So here, this is not having a, so this is not the one I need. Filter. Let me see here if I can say, yeah, this might work. So here you can see here we have a couple of options. Number with a decimal, but that's the long number we are getting, which is not going to work. And I don't have rounding here. Do I have rounding options here? Create calculator field here. Rank. Oh, here you go. Fill down. Running calculation. No, they don't have. So we have to use some function because right now I don't see any easy way to remove. Please understand, there's no easy way to remove this what you call decimal value. So what we're gonna do? No, that's fine, Mikas. That's completely fine. You can watch recording, and maybe next time you can think about like having a Dell used computer. These are like $300, $200, like nice computer you can get. Remember, tools should not stop you. If you are learning such kind of beautiful topic, right? $200, $250, you can buy Dell used laptop. Life will be super. This is what I use. The computer which I'm using, I bought it $188. It's a desktop with 8 GB RAM, with a 24 inch monitor, keyboard and everything. $188. It will last 5 years. But
actually have the big deal, but it's it went into Microsoft recovery mode. I had to find the recovery key and all that. It started automatic updates and then it shut down. So when I restarted it, it couldn't work. So I have to go to Microsoft to find my recovery key. So that's why.
Yeah. Good luck, my friend. Good luck. Okay.
Thanks.
Now, see here, I want to remove this decimal thing, right? How do I do that? So there is not easy way here. See here, at least I'm not seeing that. In case if you say, let me know, right? So there is a way we can do. We can go back to the edit mode, the pencil edit mode, and we can use round function. So they might have round or some kind of functions available. So let's see, do they have round or ceiling or floor? So they must have something called round. So they have round functions. Okay. So I'm going to use round function. I'll say round, right? So if I round this thing, how many decimal I want to round? Let's see if we can give that 2 and make that guy happy. So I use round. Please understand, I use round. So round is a function, right? In a parenthesis, I use total, whatever the column we had total, right? Total is the column divided by 3. And then I say 2 means I need a 2 decimal after. Let's see if that does magic. So I'm going to apply and then you can see magic happen. Give me thumbs up if you're able to do so. Good. Very, very good. Good. Please understand, anytime you have made a what do you call thing, there is a pencil icon. You click on the pencil icon, it will come here and you can use. There are so many things you can do. Okay, this is just the beginning, but there are so many things you can do. So I save it. So this part is done. So at this moment, I have total and average. If I want to write like a conditions, I can write a condition. Let's say I want to add a grade, just an example. So what should I do? How do I add a grade? So in that case, again, it's a calculated column. So let's click on create calculated column. So you're here. And we are saying based on if average is less than 60, then fail, otherwise you pass, something like that. So we can use if statement. So here I'll say grade, new column, again calculated column. I'll say if, we are using if, right? If average less than 60, right? Less than 60, right? Then I want to give return something, right? So what should I return? So in that case, if average is less than 60, then what are you going to do? Then you are saying you return pass, right? Return pass. Normally we do this, right? Return pass. Else, right? Else return false, right? Sorry, fail, my mistake, right? And if always have a end. So if I do that, what is the problem here? We need to understand. I don't think it's a syntax is correct because it's going to cry. So expected different text here. So no return. So let's remove return. And now it's a else if. So if statement missing else if keyword. So if else if. So let's do else if, no problem. But I don't think we need else.
Tushar,
yes.
Can you zoom that in just a little bit, please?
I will, but first I have to fix this problem. Let me know the syntax first. I'll zoom in 1 second, Steve. So we are in Tableau, right? Tableau, and I'll say if statement because the syntax has to be correct. So this is the syntax. So if it is greater than then, so they use then, right? And then else if, then this, and then else. Okay. Let me do it and I'll put it in a chat. Give me 2 minutes. So I'm going to put it instead of a profit. What is our case? Our is average. So we do average. If average is less than 60, right? If average is less than 60, then what we'll say? You fail, right? Otherwise, we'll say else you pass, right? That's what we are trying to do, right? Let's see if this works. Right now, there is no error. So I'll see if it works and then I'll give you opportunity to zoom it. And it seems like it worked. So it did create it. Yeah, it created. So now I'll go to zoom in and I'm going to put it in a chat also. So that way you all have access to, sorry, where is the chat command? Give me, chat is here. I'm going to put it in a chat and I'm going to zoom in. So you can see here, we are saying, hey, if average is less than 60, then you'll fail. Else you pass. And if always have an end. See if you can do it and give me thumbs up. Good. Awesome. Thank you, Jay. It's important that you put and try. The goal of the exercise is you should follow the flow. In case if you have a problem, please see how I do it. It's important that you feel comfortable. When you do feel comfortable, then the homework will be a lot more easier. Thank you, Indamati. Thomas, everything is good?
It worked better when I didn't copy and paste yours.
Did it work? Sometimes, the single quotation change its meaning, and sometimes your column name might have different names. Sometimes you might have used different columns, so you may want to adjust the column accordingly. So you have to check your column name, because your column name, if it is average, then it will work. But if you have made a spelling difference, then it won't work. So it's very important that we adjust our column name accordingly. So now I have everyone is passing, so that's not a problem. you can go in detail, else if, and you can create A grade, B grade, and C grade, but you got the idea. Now I want to generate the output. So what is the procedure to generate output? You click here, plus sign, and you generate output. So now entire flow is ready. If I run this flow, you will see name, English, math, science, total, average. Original data only had this detail, right? Now we have quite a good details. We created this calculated field nicely, and that is called enrichment. Enrichment means you're adding new column in your existing table. So you're enriching your existing data. That's a beautiful concept. And you are now, if I have this file, if I can even push this file to Tableau, if I have Pro version, I can push this file to straight Tableau. So if I have Pro version, I can right click here and I can say, you know what, see here, I can save step or publish to server. If I publish to server, I can open this thing to Tableau, Tableau desktop, and you can use it. Sometimes sometimes you are working on that and you need like some other step, right? Most people, what they do, they like I highlight and drop, like I select like this. Let's assume just for a selection, you have a large flow, right? And it's hardly readable. So some people, what they do, they highlight and then they group it and create a group like that. Let me show you. So like example, I can draw a square like this and you can see it's highlighted, and you right click on it and say group, right? And you can say this, you can see how nice, beautiful, but if you click on this arrow, it will expand. So you can do that grouping and all. It's kind of nice. You need to understand this part well before you do deep data reporting. So that's the reason I'm explaining here. There are a lot of interesting things you might encounter, like example null, you can remove example. We talk about all, and when you do the exercise homework, you will learn more. And now everything looks good. You just need to click on play button. So if I click on play, it will generate the output. Replace that, the output will be generated. As long as there is no error, output will generate it and it will go to the output location. So sometimes it's a good idea to check where we are generating it. Sometimes it's generated in a very awkward place. So this is the location generate. I like to do in a download folder. So I click on browse. I go to download folder and I'll say accept and run again. And I'll run the flow again. This time it will generate under, oops, sorry, my mistake. I did not do extension CSV. So you need to make sure you click on, browse folder, go to download folder and select, and make sure you select CSV. After you select CSV, run the flow and see the result is generated, right? If I refresh it, it generated. Now, if I go to my download folder, you should see nicely everything is generated. Now, if you feel like something is added unnecessary, like example, in this case, you can see here, in this case, table name is unnecessary. I don't want that. Then you just simple delete it from screen and you're good to go. So if I go here, I don't need these things, right? So if your cleaning part, you click here, any cleaning part and say which column you don't need it. Whatever you don't need it, make sure those items are not listed. So here, if I come in output, this is listed. So the question is now union, where I'm getting my table. So this is the table name coming. So I can remove this part. So this column, if I remove that, then it should not come. So you can play that type of thing. So, hey, this is what I'm getting here. So right now, because we are doing this union, right, and it's coming from this, it is maintaining here. Anything you want to remove, hide, options available for you. So any step you are here, and if you feel like something, it doesn't make sense, I need to remove that part. This is, you can, it's up to you. You can, whichever options available, right, does not contain, exact matching, start content, whatever you want, it's choice is yours. You can remove that. Let's say if I don't like this column, you see here and say, can I hide this column? Can I do this thing, right? All the options you can play around. Whatever you generate, it will go in output. So this is the way Tableau Prep works. Any questions so far? There are a few tips I can tell you. If you have a bunch of files, you can just drag and drop and it will automatically show up here. If you have folders, we talk about multiple files, and one file will automatically create multiple files. Sometimes you want to do prototype. Prototype means I like this flow, but I don't want to touch this flow. I want to experiment some other flow. So what you can do here, you can draw a square. Let me show you. You can draw a square like that. And then you right click and copy that. And then right click and paste or insert the flow wherever you want. So right now I'm going to paste it here. So I paste it here. So there are some naming convention, it will cry. So because all naming convention cry, that's okay. But you can see here both has the same file and also we'll fix that. But now this, if I expand, there are two flow. So I can troubleshoot this flow. Like example, let's say I want to see why it is crying here. Something wrong happened here. Why this is crying? What's the issue here? What was the issue here? Why? If you move your mouse, it will give you hint. Output match conflict with the other output. Okay, now no problem. I'll change that. So it changed already, but will change also. So if I click here, this is confusion is here. But if I click here, this table name I didn't want. So I can click here and I can say remove that or hide that. So I can hide now. Now you can see here, I have this flow I'm experimenting. So I click on output and I can say now this file, I'll do browse. And this file, let's say here, I will say output 2, just an example, output 2. Now I accept it. So this file is output 2, this file. So if I play this flow, even though there are two flow, I can run one flow at a time. I can run flow at a time. So you can run that flow. So if I flow now, it will run it. Sometimes you may say, what is this one? I don't understand this. You just click here and then change it. So you can say union A and B table. You can write in English. And if you need more, you can write the description, double click and say combine rows. So you have options available. So it's a good documentation. Here you can say clean steps, or I'd say add total columns, right? You can write down columns like total, average, and grade. Again, more information is better. And double click here, you can write down output. Now your flow is much more descriptive. Now if I run this thing, it will run this flow, it will generate the output. But if you click here, you can generate both flow at the same time. So it kind of make parallel processing also. So if I run, you can see it generate output too. Pretty easy. So this way, trust me, this required a little bit of effort. And that's why the homework I'm giving you, so you can practice also. Questions so far before I jump into GitHub? Any question, concern so far? Everyone is good? Okay. I'm hoping you are good. So now